PMWR News. Today we have
Emily, Scarlett,
and Tenley.
First up, we are going to listen to some amazing stories and listen to some interesting facts. And now we have Scarlett and her amazing corgis.
Have you ever wanted a dog? I can name all of them, but this one's my favorite, corgis. They look like a fluffy potato with paws and legs. Now I'm going to tell you all about them. Now you are probably wondering about their history. So corgis, they're among the oldest of all British breeds. Also, the Hungarian Welsh Corgi is from Cardenshire. They were made about 12,000 BC. There are more than one type of corgis. There is Pembroke and Hungarian Welsh Corgis. If you want a corgi, here is the most important things to know about their care. To keep your corgis healthy, you need to check behind their ears weekly so they don't have infections, and brush their teeth weekly. Next is grooming. You should brush them weekly because they have a double coat of fur. Third is exercise. If you want your corgi to be buff, then make sure to have a 10-minute to 15-minute walk. Lastly is nutrients. They need high quality food they can have any diet. If you want to know what a corgi looks like, then I can tell you. First is their height. Some dogs are tall, but this dog is only 10.5 to 12.5. That is shorter than me, and I am pretty short. Second is pounds. They can be 25 to 38 pounds unless they are really fat. Third is colors. They can be black, tan, fawn, and red, and sable. Last is their markings. They have some white markings on their body. So if you have forgotten what we have learned about corgis, care, what they look like, and their history. Did you know that in fairy tales, fairy warriors love to ride corgis? Now, if you want to buy a corgi, ask your parents because you can't just buy a dog.
Wow, I did not know that corgis got ridden on by warrior fairies.
Now I love corgis.
Now for our next amazing story is Joe talking about skiing.
Did you know skiing was actually used for transportation? Skiing is a very popular winter sport, but you do not need to be in the Olympics to ski. It is a fun sport for everyone. Have you ever skied? Have you ever watched a downhill skiing video and said, what do those markings mean on the trail? I'm going to tell you today. A green trail is for beginners if you do not want to be in the bunny hills anymore. Blue trail is a little bit harder. Sometimes they have steep little parts of that really it. Black is not really intermediate but not pro. It is just getting the hang of it and is mostly steep. Double black is very hard trails and they're mostly really steep with maybe little jumps and bumps there. Those are all the trail markings. There are many different types of downhill skiing, but I'm going to teach you about two of them. First, alpine. Alpine skiing is many different hard courses and they're all based on how fast you can go and what time you get. There are many different types like slalom, giant slalom, super G, super combo, just many different kinds. There's freestyle skiing. Freestyle skiing is based on spins, tricks, jumps. Personally, my favorite. You have to go really high up and do a bunch of tricks. Some of the tricks are aerials, moguls, ski cross. See, I just don't get how you have to do a bunch of tricks in the air. If I tried those, I would probably crack my skull. Have you ever wanted to go skiing but afraid of hurting yourself? Well, I'm going to teach you the type of equipment you need so you do not get hurt. First, you obviously need snow pants and a jacket. You also need a helmet, ski goggles, ski mask. Then you can't just have regular boots, you need ski boots. They have special bindings so they lock onto your skis. That is all the equipment you need for skiing. You have learned about equipment for skiing, what the colors mean, and different types of skiing. Fun fact, did you know skiing started in 2000 BC? Apparently it was 2 men on rocks. Well, if you like this, you should try skiing. It's fun.
Wow, I did not know skiing was so dangerous.
Who knew skiing was so cool?
Next, for the most visited place on Earth, Mexico.
Hi, my name is Mason and I'm going to tell you all about Mexico. When I went to Mexico, it was 29 Celsius outside. Do you know how hot that is? It's 84 degrees Fahrenheit. It was so hot that I had to go in the ocean, which was not safe because it was a red flag. And that means the waves are not safe to swim in. In Mexico, school is different because the age zone is not the same. Schools in Mexico are often unfunded and lacking on school resources, so they do not have as much materials. Primary schools, ages 6 to 12, and they have the same amount of school days as us. Junior high school, ages 12 to 15, and high school, ages 15 to 17, are different because they are older people in the school. Mexico has more than one celebration, and the Mexican celebrations are a lot bigger than the USA parties. The Day of the Dead is the time where Mexicans go visit their lost loved ones, and this year, the Day of the Dead is 2 days long, starting Wednesday, November 1st. Every village or town in Mexico has a Day of the Dead parade. Independence Day marks the country's separation from Spain in 1810. The celebrations are mostly parades and carnivals. Mexican cuisine varies widely between regions as each town has its own culinary traditions. Tortillas and other food are made from corn are common everywhere, though as peppers, tomatoes, and beans. Rice is also a staple. Did you know that people in Mexico do not drive nice cars and don't have big houses? Because Mexico is a poor country and they do not have as many resources. Mexico is humid every day and is mostly a desert because the sun burns all of the grass and trees. There you have it. You have now learned everything about Mexico. Adios, amigo.
So cool.
Next is Tenley with the Australian Shepherd, also known as the Aussie.
Do you like dogs? If so, you need to read about the Australian Shepherd. The Aussie needs attention, healthcare, and exercise. Aussies need attention because they love to be with people and hate to be alone. The Aussie loves to play and needs to play regularly. Aussies need exercise because they can be energetic and they love to run and exercise. Because the Aussie loves to be around people, they need a warm and safe place to live. They also need love, care, and medical attention when needed. One way to take care of the Aussie is to check their ears and clean them for buildup and wax. They need their teeth cleaned regularly and they need their grooming monthly. The next thing we are going to talk about is their diet. Aussies need to eat high-quality food, treats, and fresh water at all times. So next time you leave their water outside, I suggest you bring it inside and clean it out. Color, size, and life expectancy is next. Aussies have a lot of colors. The colors of an Aussie are black, blue merle, red, and merle. The markings of an Aussie can be white, tan, or both white and tan points. Aussies can live up to 12 to 15 years. The male is 20 to 23 inches long, and the female is 18 to 21 inches long. The male is 50 to 55 pounds, and the female is 40 to 55 pounds. Aussies have a keen, penetrating gaze in the eye. Last but not least, we are going to talk about the fun facts. The Basque people came to California from Australia, so the people in California thought the breed of dog was from Australia, even though the breed was from Europe. Some of the jobs of the Aussie are herding, rodeo, therapy, drug detector, service dog, and search and rescue dog. This is the end of learning about the Aussie. I recommend that you should get an Aussie, but you need to reach the expectations for an Aussie first.
Wow, I did not know that Aussies have jobs. That's so cool.
Next up is Emily and her adorable Ragdoll cat.
Thank you, Tenley, Emily, and Scarlett. Have you ever met a cat with very long hair? Was it very cuddly? Well, if you have, then that cat is called a Ragdoll cat. If you already know about them, then still stick with me. However, if you have not, then fear not, because right here, right now, you will learn all about them. Ragdoll cats are large and muscular with long fur and a soft and silky coat. These cats are a low-shedding breed even though they have a thick coat. They can grow up to 9 to 11 inches tall and 17 to 21 inches in length. 5 types of Ragdoll coat patterns are color point, bicolor, bitted, lynx point, and toady point. These Ragdoll's grooming needs are relatively simple. These perfect cats are very clean animals. Although, like any other cat, they may need a bath once in a while. They do also need ear cleaning and nail trimming once every 2 months. Ragdolls are very playful animals, so make sure you always have some toys around the house for them to play with and attack all day long. If you ever pick up these Ragdoll-like cats up, you will be sure that they will go limp. This adorable breed is about as docile as these cats come. In fact, the name Ragdoll comes from the tendency to go limp when picked up. These cats love to be held and babied and will relax in your arms for as long as you let them. Ragdolls are smart, loving, gentle, and super affectionate. Wow, there was so much to learn about Ragdoll cats. I recommend getting one yourself. And remember, they always go well with any other pets. Back to you, Tenley, Emily, and Scarlett.
I want a ragdoll cat.
No, I do.
No, me.
Girls, calm down. You can both have one.
Next up is Davi and an awesome story about soccer.
Do you want to play a fast-paced game where you get to be on a team and score goals? If your answer is yes, you should play soccer. In soccer are 2 teams that play against each other Each team has 11 players that are different positions that can be played depending on how the team wants to set up. Players score goals by setting the ball in the net. You can kick it past the goalie. You can score from a free throw or a penalty kick. Soccer can be played indoors or outdoors. You play in a field, each team 19 minutes long. Você quer jogar um jogo de ritmo rápido onde você faz parte de um time e marca gols? Se sua resposta for sim, você deveria jogar futebol. No futebol existem 2 times que jogam um contra o outro. Cada equipe tem 11 jogadores e existem diferentes posições que podem ser jogadas dependendo como a equipe deseja. Se posicionar, os jogadores marcam gols colocando a bola na rede. Você pode chutá-lo além do goleiro. Você pode marcar um lance livre ou um pênalti. O futebol pode ser jogado em ambientes fechados ou livres. Você joga em um campo e cada jogo tem 90 minutos de duração.
I did not know that each game was 90 minutes long.
Looking back at all of these stories makes me feel so smart.
Well, that wraps it up for BMWR News.
BMWR News out.
It's time to go. Shh.
Hi,
What's up? You are
on
D1.
News.
First up is Brent with chickens.
Chickens. I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about taking care of chickens and their diet. I hope you learn a lot about chickens. I'll tell you about their diet and why you should keep them and more. You should keep chickens because when you get to know your pet chicken, you enjoy having them. Also, because chickens lay eggs, and they lay eggs every day just for you. All you need is 3 or 2 nesting boxes for them to lay in, and you get eggs every day after they lay. They're also not expensive. I bought my chickens for $3 at Tractor Supply. Chickens do not have teeth, so how do they eat? If you go over to your coop and give them some food, they will swallow tiny little rocks that will make it easier for them to digest their food. What do chickens eat? Well, chickens will eat grass, mealworms, apples, cucumbers, lettuce, plus even turkey carcasses. You need lots of time and hard work to take care of your chicken. They're really hard pests to take care of, but also really fun to take care of too. Also, you must need a big coop with less than 2 full nesting boxes. Chickens or less. Also, you must need them. You also must buy them food and water once a week for them to live, unless they will die to starvation. You must need a lot of land for them to roam around and chill. You also must clean their poop every 2 or 3 days, unless their coop in your backyard will get really dirty. I hope you learned about chickens from my newscast. Maybe you should get a couple of chickens yourself. They're only like $3, like I said earlier, at Tractor Supply. That's where I got them. There's a lot more fun facts about chickens out there too. I hope you learned about chickens, not about chickens. Back to you, Ella and Charlotte.
Wow, that was amazing, Brent. I did not know that chickens lay 1 egg per day.
That was so cool. I did not know that.
Now we have Charlotte with Greek mythology.
Yay, I'm so excited.
Thank you, Lacey, Ella, and myself. Do you ever wonder where those fantasy creatures come from? Well, if you stay here with me, you'll definitely find out. In ancient Greece, people told wonderful stories about a magical world. These are called myths. Myths were told instead of written. They told about the Greeks' history and how or why things were made. Some may feel like they came from a fairy tale dreamland, while others might feel like they're from a horrifying nightmare. The myths were told in village squares, sung about in churches, and were taught to children by their parents. Finally, the myths were written down as poems and playwrights. Some of the poems, playwrights, paintings, and sculptures are still intact today. On the shores of the Western Ocean, there lived 3 Gorgon sisters. 2 of the sisters were very ugly, with snouts, big bulging eyes, and purple tongues that stuck out between their 2 yellow tusks. They had bronze-brown claws and big green scaly wings. But enough about those 2. This is about the 3rd sister, who is very different from her other sisters. She was beautiful, but poisonous vipers lined her scalp instead of hair, and anyone who even glanced at her face turned to stone. Perseus was Zeus's son, and he promised to his father that he would bring Medusa's dreadful head to him. Zeus loved his son, so he ordered the other gods, goddesses, heroes, and creatures to give his son a gift. So the goddess Athena gave Perseus a mirror-like shield and told him to only look at Medusa's face on the shield. Hermes gave him winged sandals and a silver sickle to decapitate Medusa, and the nymphs of the north gave him an invisibility cap and a pouch for the head. So Perseus flew to the cave and put his invisibility cap on so they couldn't see him. Then he went in and sliced her head off and put it in the pouch. Perseus gave the head to Athena, and from then on, she wore the gruesome trophy on her breastplate. Bellerophon's mighty steed was named Pegasus. Pegasus was a winged horse and was born when Perseus killed Medusa, and her blood gushed into the ocean and started mingling with the waves when he sprang from the surface. He was snowy white with blazing eyes and gold hoofs. His silvery wings were tipped with golden feathers. He was gifted to Bellerophon by the goddess Athena. Bellerophon soon became very full of himself, so much so that he thought that he was worthy of living on Mount Olympus. Zeus was so angered by his actions that he threw him off the mountain, and although he didn't die, Bellerophon got severely injured, and boy did he learn his lesson. From then on, all mythical winged horses are actually called a Pegasus. Wow, that was a lot of facts. In case you forgot, we learned about what myths are, how Medusa was killed, and how Pegasus came to be. I hope that you learned a ton of things about some of the most famous Greek mythological creatures. Back to you, anchors. Bye!
Wow, I thought Greek mythology was about a Greek person.
I was so excited to learn about Greek mythology.
I did not know that Gorgons have purple tongues.
Move it, my name is Charlotte, and I'm ready to slay all day.
Okay. Copycat?
No, you're the copycat.
No, you are.
Okay, shush.
Why?
Because I told you to.
We tricked you! You thought we were fighting?
I thought we were.
Hug it out, sister!
Ha ha. Now we have Danny with capybaras.
Thank you, anchors. You are in the forest by yourself in South America at night. You hear the bushes crackle. You point your flashlight in the direction in fear. It comes out. You pray for your life, and it comes out. You scream in fear. But oh, it's a little animal. But what is it? Congratulations. You just found a baby capybara. Capybaras are the largest rodents on Earth. They are 100 centimeters to 150. They're herbivores and they eat plants. This is what a capybara's diet is. The capybara's diet consists of tree bark, grass, tubers, and aquatic plants. Capybaras have 3 very sharp teeth to help them chew the foods. Did you know that grown-up capybaras are friends with alligators? Alligators are afraid of capybaras because capybaras have bad blood, and pelicans as well. Well, not really. Pelicans try to eat capybaras, but they quite can't eat them because capybaras are too big. The other reason why pelicans are friends with capybaras is because they live close to the water, so pelicans can eat fish, and if capybaras want to take a dip, they're really good swimmers. The capybara is a very sociable animal that tends to be in areas close to the water in herds of around 20 individuals, which is usually made up of a dominant male with numbers of females and young. Capybara herds are known to vary in size depending on the herd. The males live together in the wet season. Even if it's not the wet season, they sometimes have to join another herd. Now you know everything about capybaras. If you did not listen to all of it, here's a recap. The capybara diet consists of grass, tubers, tree bark, and aquatic plants. Capybaras are friends with alligators and pelicans. Capybara herds contain one dominant male and a few females, and then the young. Plus, they can sleep underwater. Now you officially know everything about capybaras. Back to you.
Wow, that was so cool.
Yeah, I did not know capybaras can sleep underwater.
Is Capybara?
Next up, we have Lacey, and she's ready to slide.
Yeah, I do.
Thank you, anchors. Have you ever wondered about getting a Holland Lop bunny? Well, if you have, you're in luck. Today, I'll be teaching you all about them, but first, I'm going to tell you some fun facts. My first one is Holland Lop sleep with their eyes open. So if you want to know if they're sleeping or not, look at their nose. If it's barely twitching and moving, there's a good chance your bunny's sleeping. My last one is bunnies are born hairless. Holland Lops have very unique characteristics. They are the only breed that has long, droopy ears. They come in 15 different colors and sometimes spots and patches. The popular colors are fawn and blue/gray. They have a small body with big legs and small arms. They have a puff of fur on the back of their necks. These are called crowns. Male bunnies are loyal, loving, and curious. Female Holland Lops are loving and independent. They can be 2 to 4 pounds. They live 6 to 12 years. They sometimes like to play with toys. They can also learn a couple of tricks. If you have a pet or do not have a pet and you want to get 2 rabbits, be careful. If you get 2 boy bunnies that are not born together, they will fight. But girl bunnies are fine. If you want a bunny and to have a friend, guinea pigs are great for boys and girl Holland Lops. Do you want to know how to take care of your pet rabbit? If you want to take care of your pet rabbit, first you need to decide if you want a girl or a boy. Then you have to decide if you want to have an indoor rabbit or an outdoor one. If you want an indoor rabbit, you will need to get a large cage, a water bottle, and a bunny litter box. You can also let your bunny roam your house, but make sure your bunny is potty trained. And if there's any wires or sharp items on the floor, be sure that they're not on the floor or where your Holland Lop can get them. And also, if you have other pets, make sure they get along. If you want an outdoor Holland Lop, be sure to have a big cage that isn't easy to get out of. And also that they have a water bottle and a bunny litter box. And make sure there's nothing in your backyard that can get your rabbit. Be sure that you bring your rabbit in when it's hot out or when it's winter and when it rains. You also need to know what they like to eat. They like to eat fresh food such as lettuce and fruit, but not iceberg lettuce. That's a big no-no. Be sure to only give them a little or check online or with your vet before giving them anything but hay and pellets. Bunnies have health issues. One of their health issues is malocclusion. Malocclusion is when their upper and lower teeth are misaligned. So when they eat food, this does not wear down your bunny's teeth. This causes your bunny pain, and no one wants that. Otis media is another thing your Holland Lop can get because of their long, droopy ears. Otis media is when your Holland Lop gets an infection in its ear. This can spread. Mites or bugs that your Holland Lop can get. This also makes their ears infected. This is contagious, so if you have any other pets, keep them away from your bunny. They can also get sore hocks. This is when your bunny stands in unsanitized places or on metal wires in their cage. This does not mean your Holland Lop will get any of these things, but just in case they do, take them to the vet. Congratulations, you know all about Holland Lops. Remember what you've learned about how to care for them, their characteristics, and their health issues. Now you can get a Holland Lop and your life can be better for sure.
Wow, I did not know that baby bunnies are born completely hairless. They must be ugly.
Okay, next up is Ella, and she's going to slay the day.
Thank you, anchors. If you need something to keep you company, German Shepherds are very good dogs to have, but a little tricky to handle. They shed a lot and need lots of training, and they need high-quality food. But besides that, they are very good dogs and are easy to love. German Shepherds are great colored dogs. They are usually 2 colors, and sometimes they can be 3. Some of the most common combinations are black and red, tan black and gray, solid black, and tan and gray. They are big dogs, and the males can weigh up to 65 to 90 pounds, and females can weigh up to 50 to 70 pounds. Males can be 24 to 26 inches tall, and females can be 22 to 24 inches tall. They act sweet but have a lot of energy and trainability. They are fairly young breeds that originated in the late 1800s in Germany. Back then, they were used to herd sheep. They still herd sheep. They started in the 1800s and still do it in the year of 2023.
Isn't that crazy? German Shepherds are also used to help people. German Shepherds are great guard dogs and will risk their life for loved ones. If someone tries to hurt you, they have really good access to help others. Some other jobs they have police dogs, and they can be helper dogs. They are healthy dogs that need lots of grooming. They have long hair and can itch and shed a lot. My Grammy has a German Shepherd and she sheds a lot. It's crazy. It even gets in your food sometimes. If you brush them, they will not shed as much. German Shepherds need lots of exercise so they can be healthy. You can take them for walks and take them to dog walking places, and they need to be trained. German Shepherds are very easy to train and it will go very well. German Shepherds need a lot of nutrients and they need high quality food. They can experience bloating, where they can experience puffing on their bodies. If they bloat, you need to call the vet. If you forget what we learned history, description, and care. Hope you want a German Shepherd after hearing all the facts about German Shepherds. And if you want one, hope you can get one. Let's get back to this.
Wow, I did not know that German Shepherds shed less when you brush them.
Next up, we have Voice with Chipmunks.
Do you want to learn about chipmunks? Keep watching to find out about the coolest mammal in the world. Did you know that some chipmunks live in rainforests and trees and others live in burrows underground? Chipmunks have reddish brownish fur and dark stripes on their back and fuzzy tails. Chipmunks grow 5 to 8 inches long and weigh 5 ounces. Their tails are about 3 to 4 inches of their body. A chipmunk is super small compared to a human. Imagine being a chipmunk and seeing a human. I would be scared. I don't know about you. Chipmunks are omnivores even though they're small. The main part of their diet is acorns. Their other part of their diet are snails, slugs, baby birds, bird eggs, roots, and garden vegetables. They store some of their food in their burrows underground, but the rest outside of their burrows and piles. Them storing their acorns helps plant seeds. Chipmunks usually mate in the early spring and have babies. The babies leave after 6 weeks of being with their parents. Their parents go to live on their own in the wild and live for 2 to 3 years. Congrats, you are a cool person because you know about chipmunks. And if you don't remember what you learned about the diet of a chipmunk, the appearance of a chipmunk, and the life cycle of a chipmunk. Thank you.
Wow, I did not know that chipmunks.
It's chipmunks. And next up is Hobie.
We're swimming!
I cannot wait to hear about all the interesting facts about swimming.
Thank you, anchors. Have you ever wondered who the best swimmer ever is? I know, it's Michael Phelps. He has the most Olympic gold medals ever at a single Olympics and the most gold medals ever. Swimming is very fun with all the events and relays. Did you know what the fastest stroke is? It's the freestyle. It is the easiest stroke to master. Freestyle is the most common stroke for beginners and the first stroke when learning to swim. To swim freestyle, your arms are in a windmill and you move your legs up and down to flutter kick, and you breathe every 3 strokes. There are many great freestyle swimmers, including Michael Phelps, Katie Ledecky, and Caleb Dressel, and many more great swimmers. The first time freestyle was introduced to Europeans was in 1844 in a swim race in London. Backstroke is pretty much the opposite of freestyle, where you are on your back. It is one of Michael Phelps' best stroke and the first one he mastered. Michael Phelps is the greatest swimmer of all time. Backstroke is mostly out of water. To swim backstroke, you're on your back and wiggling your arms just like in freestyle. You also flutter kick. In turns, you flip onto your front and then push off the wall and turn back onto your back. Breaststroke is a slow stroke and it is my least favorite stroke. To swim breaststroke, you kick your legs like a frog and move your arms up to the chest and then shoot them forward. And then there's the butterfly. It is the hardest stroke, but it is pretty fun flying out of the water. And it takes a lot of practice. To swim butterfly, you dolphin kick your legs and move your arms over your head, and at the same time. The longest fly event is the 200. Butterfly is Michael Phelps' best stroke. He held many records for many years. There are different distances in swimming, including the 50s, 100s, 200s, 500s, the mile, and the 400 and 800 relays, and other open water competitions that are very long. I hope you enjoyed my report. Swimming is the best sport ever.
I did not know that Michael Phelps had the most medals in swimming.
Thanks for watching D1 News!
We're out. Bye.
Hi, I'm Ariana.
And I'm Greta. And this is Dash News.
Today we'll be learning about the Dominican Republic, the famous basketball player Jason Tatum, Mary Blair, and more like.
The basketball team, the Mavericks, guide dogs, and mini Rex bunnies.
Oh my gosh, Greta, have you heard about the new Barbie movie?
Yes, and have you heard about the new Little Mermaid movie?
Yes, and we should go see it. Oh yeah, we're doing a newscast. Anyway.
Here we have Ariana with guide dogs.
Thank you, Greta. Have you ever wondered how guide dogs know how to keep a blind person safe? Well, you found the right person to tell you about it. I'm Ariana, and here's how you train a guide dog, the best breeds for a guide dog, and the guide dog's jobs. Did you know that guide dogs need lots of training? The training begins immediately. Once the dog is 6 to 11 weeks old, they go to a foster home for their first part of training. At night, the foster parent ties the dog to the front of the bed with a short leash. The short leash trains them to stay next to the master's bed in case the blind person needs to get up at night. The foster parent will bring the dog outside to get more used to people. The dog must be disciplined with a firm voice, not by yelling or shouting. Then they go back to the guide dog school for some more training. Guide dogs have many important jobs. The blind person holds onto the handle that is on the dog's harness. The dog steers them around lamps, poles, baby carriages, and other people on the street. The dog has to sit when they get to a curb so that the blind person can feel the edge and step down safely. Guide dogs help their user to travel around independently, safely, giving their user more independence, freedom, and confidence. Guide dogs make navigating streets less stressful by assisting their user to find locations, avoid obstacles, and stop at curbs. What are the best guide dog breeds? Experience has shown that Golden Retrievers, Labrador Retrievers, and German Shepherds make the best guide dog breeds. Those breeds are gentle and they are obedient, but disobedient if they see danger. Both male and female work equally well. They must be medium-sized in order to fit under restaurant tables or under buses, trains, or airplane seats. They also have to be about 20 to 28 inches tall at the shoulders that weigh about 50 pounds are ideal. That size allows them to keep up with their walking partner. Hopefully you know all about training a guide dog, the best breeds to be a guide dog, and the jobs that guide dogs have for their masters. So if you see a guide dog, please don't pet it. Back to you, Greta, and myself.
Thank you, Ariana. I guess. Who knew guide dogs are that helpful? Now we have Gavin.
We have Gavin here telling us about the famous NBA player, Jason Tatum.
Thank you, Greta and Ariana. Do you know who Jason Tatum is? Well, today you're going to learn about Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum is a well-known NBA player, and if you don't know what the NBA is, I will tell you. The NBA is a competitive version of basketball. Tatum currently plays for the Boston Celtics, and he's in the starting lineup. Tatum played basketball for Duke University, and he was an awesome player. I think he's one of the best NBA players. Jason Tatum was born on March 3, 1998 in Missouri. Tatum is currently 26 years old. Tatum's mother was a single mother and she had no money. When Tatum was young in elementary school, he wished that he could play in the NBA. His mother made sure that Jason got to practice to reach his dream. When Tatum was young, his dad played for St. Louis University basketball team. Then Jason Tatum's dad became a gym teacher and a basketball coach. Jason Tatum played for Duke University. He was one of the best players on Duke. He averaged 13.3 points per game in his junior league in college. Tatum mostly hits his three-pointers. When Jason Tatum got picked to Duke University, they won a lot of games in a row. I would feel good if I got picked for a college basketball team and won a lot of games in a row. Jason Tatum played for Duke in 2016 and he had an amazing college basketball career. Tatum also missed a couple of his college games due to a foot injury. I would feel a little sad if I missed a couple of games. Jason Tatum is a really good player that plays for the Boston Celtics. Jason Tatum is 6'8" Jason Tatum got drafted in 2017 to the Boston Celtics. In 2018, he was named an All-Star rookie. Jason Tatum is now leading the Celtics in scoring the most points on the team. Jason Tatum carried the Celtics to the playoffs. Tatum and his team are going to be playing against the Hawks. In 2022, Jason Tatum and his team went to the finals, but they lost to the Warriors. Jason Tatum is my favorite NBA player of all time. I hope you learned of a lot of cool, interesting facts about Jason Tatum. He had a long basketball career. Back to you, anchors.
Thanks, Gavin.
Did you know that Jason Tatum is leading the Celtics in points?
Now we have the amazing Greta talking about Mary Blair.
Thank you, Greta. Have you been watching a movie on Disney like Peter Pan or Alice in Wonderland? Think of the colors, the big, bright colors. Mary Blair brought those bold and modern colors to Disney. Mary Blair was born in McAllister, Oklahoma. Mary's last name has not always been Blair. Her maiden name is Mary Brown Robinson. Mary and her family moved a few times while she was growing up. After leaving Oklahoma, she and her family moved to Texas and then to California. Mary attended school there, elementary school through high school. Mary went to high school at Live Oak High School. She graduated from high school in 1929. She attended San Jose State College for 3 years, majoring in fine arts. Mary received a scholarship to Chouinard School of Arts, where she met her future husband, Lee Blair. Mary and Lee both graduated from college in 1933 and got married later in 1934. Later, they had 2 kids named Kevin and Donovan. After college, Mary was hired by Walt Disney to work on animation as one of the first women to ever be hired. Although she did not want to be an animator, she took the job. Originally, she wanted to become a painter, but since she needed the money, she decided to work there. Walt asked Mary to join him to go to South America. Lots of Disney workers went to study for upcoming movies in South America too. Mary worked on projects big and small. Some include Baby Ballet and never produced second version of Fantasia, The Three Caballeros. She also worked on big movies like Peter Pan, Alice in Wonderland, and Cinderella. She was the one in charge of the It's a Small World ride. Mary was best known for changing the way Disney used colors. She introduced big and amazing colors and forever changed Disney movies and shows. Back to you, Ariana and I. Thanks a lot, Greta. I did not know Mary Blair did all that.
You're welcome.
Now we have V telling us about the basketball team called the Mavericks.
Let me teach you about the Mavericks. The Mavericks is a basketball team. The team is located in Dallas, Texas. Did you know the Dallas Mavericks won 1 championship? I am sure you want to learn about the Mavericks. The Mavericks are a great team. You definitely need to watch the Mavericks. The Mavericks were not the first team to play for Dallas. The first team was called the Dallas Chaparrals. General Manager Donald Carter announced that his team would move to Dallas. The Mavericks were first founded in 1980. Then in 1978, Norm Sonju from the Buffalo Braves, Donald Carter and James Garner were Norm's partners. They raised $12 million to start the Dallas Mavericks. 1980 was their first season to play for Dallas Mavericks. Don Carter sold the team to Ross Perot Jr. Ross owned the team for 4 years. Mark Cuban is the new owner of the Dallas Mavericks. The Dallas Mavericks won their first championship in 2011. They beat the Miami Heat for the championship. When a team wins, they get championship rings and a trophy. The owner of the Dallas Mavericks bought 15 championship rings for $1.4 million. Did you know the Dallas first team's name was the Dallas Chaparrals? I recommend you to watch the Mavericks, or you could go to one of their games. The Dallas Mavericks have won 1 championship. The new owner of the Dallas Mavericks is Mark Cuban. Back to you.
Wow, I never knew there was a team named the Mavericks.
Me either.
Which one's basketball? The one with the hoop,
I think. Anyway, now we have Jaden talk about the Dominican Republic.
Buenos dias. Did you ever want to know what the Dominican Republic is? If you did, then you came to the right place. Do you know that baseball is a popular game in the Dominican Republic? Here are some fun facts about the Dominican Republic. The Dominican Republic is the second largest country in the Caribbean Sea, but Cuba is a larger country. The Dominican Republic is 240 miles long. The island of Haiti takes the rest of the country. The flag of the Dominican Republic is red, white, and blue. Red means for the blood who fought for freedom, white means for the sunshine, and blue means for the sky. And in the middle of the flag is a cross and a symbol for their country. One of the most popular games of the Dominican Republic is baseball, and the most popular is dominoes. Many Dominicans like to golf, fish, and scuba dive. You might want to know about dominoes. A lot of people think about baseball when it comes to the Dominican Republic, but dominoes is the most popular sport. They even host tournaments for dominoes. When I went to the Dominican Republic, the first thing my friend wanted to do was play dominoes a lot. Okay, fun fact. Did you know that baseball season starts in October and ends in February? Although many Dominicans play professional football in the U.S. and Canada, I feel like I want to go to the Dominican Republic again. It is beautiful and awesome. To top it off, it's another fun fact. They are the oldest country of the Americas and was discovered by Christopher Columbus on his first trip in 1492. You should go there sometimes.
Thanks, Jaden. Who knew dominoes were more famous than baseball there?
Like the pizza place?
No, like the game.
Oh. Now we have Dylan telling us all about mini Rex bunnies.
Thank you, anchors. Hi, my name is Dylan, and I'm a bunny whisperer. And today I'm going to be telling you about mini Rex rabbits. I have 2 at my house, and they are my favorite animals. The mini Rex rabbit looks like a normal rabbit, but it is smaller with a rounded back. Their ears are always pointing straight up. The mini Rex rabbit weighs 5 pounds, and they are 10 to 12 inches long. Their fur is short and smooth. It feels very velvety when you touch it. This breed has a special fur. Instead of fur laying down, it sticks out and feels springy to the touch. They kind of look like a little puffball with legs. These rabbits groom themselves, but you can also brush them. The mini Rex rabbit can come in 20 different colors, some solid and sometimes mixed colors. A few examples of their colors are sable, black, castor, chocolate, opal, white, red, and smoke pearl. The very first mini Rex bunny was a cross between a lynx Rex rabbit and a dwarf Rex rabbit. Mona Berryhill bred the first mini Rex rabbit. This rabbit breed was accepted into the American Rabbit Breeders Association in 1986. Now I will tell you how to care for a mini Rex. I would recommend giving them a wire cage for one small bunny and make it 5 feet wide and 30 by 30 inches. Give them 2 rooms with a solid floor that's not too wet or too hard. For a bed, shred cardboard, paper, or dry straw. Give them natural sunlight, but don't give them direct sunlight because it'll make them miserable and ruin their coat. 70 to 80 degrees is a good temperature for them. Did you know that mini Rex bunnies can die from loneliness? That's why you need to keep them company. A recommendation would be buying 2 bunnies instead of 1. The mini Rex bunnies have a natural prey instinct, so they might be scared of other pets. They need time to adjust to other animals. Mini Rex bunnies should not live with ferrets. They might eat your bunny. You should feed your bunny lots of grass hay. They eat 1/4 a cup of pellets per pound of bunny. So if you have a 4-pound bunny, feed them 1 full cup. You should also feed them fresh fruits, leafy greens, and crunchy veggies. If you forgot, I just told you about the mini Rex bunny's characteristics, their history, care, and diet. A fun fact about mini Rex bunnies is one of their colors is otter. I have never heard of that color before I started my research, and they are not named after the T-Rex. Let's hop back onto the studio.
Wow. I never knew bunnies were named after dinosaurs.
Wow, who knew bunnies were that small?
Now, Greta, we should go watch that Barbie movie.
Yeah, we should.
All right, this is Ariana.
And Greta.
Signing off.